Well, welcome back here. Heartlanders Hockey Hour at Copper Bore. Pleased to be joined by Liam Coughlin, alternate captain, forward for the Landers. Liam, how's everything going with you?
Going well. Excited to be here.
I asked you to come on for a specific reason, Liam. You're from South Boston, Massachusetts, and if I know anything about the New Englanders and the Mid-Atlantic guys, we had Peyton Jones from Pennsylvania. We like to talk.
Yep.
We can talk.
Yeah.
There's no hesitation.
No.
You're ready to have a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to talk it up. So, again, here with Liam Coughlin, who's with the Heartlanders. His first season playing for the Heartlanders, has played in the Central Division before, some experience with the Indy Fuel. In the last few years, you were with the Worcester Railers for the last 2 years. So we have things to talk about in the ECHL, but hey, what we got to talk about first is how the team's playing, which has just been amazing.
Yeah.
6-game winning streak.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Right before you got here, Joe was saying that after the team lost at Cincinnati those few games, that the leadership really kind of helped guide the next few days before the games against Kalamazoo. So You're one of those leaders. Take me through about 2 weeks ago. We were about to play Kalamazoo. Team was still looking for his first win. What were those days like with you guys as the leadership kind of taking over and guiding the ship, so to speak?
I mean, obviously it wasn't the start we wanted, but we just had to lead by example on and off the ice, just finishing hits, getting pucks deep, and just leading by example. And that was a big thing Danes was telling us as a leadership group, and just show the young guys what to do, and they followed us.
So like when you say show the guys what to do and finish checks, so take us through like what does that entail besides just saying, hey, do it?
It's just the little details. If they see me doing it, they're going to do it, and that's big. If everyone's on the same line, the train's going to keep rolling, so we got to keep doing that this week.
You mentioned to me you've done a radio show before.
Yeah.
In Worcester, you did it?
Worcester, yeah.
What was it like? Was it at a restaurant like this? Was it in a studio?
Just in a radio booth.
I can tell like you're a little bit like you're excited to be here.
Yeah.
But this is new for you. I can kind of tell.
New. Yeah, a little new.
The people here, Liam, are arguably our biggest fan. We have a lot of biggest fans.
Yeah.
The people here are the ones that whatever you say, they're going to wait on. They're waiting on bated breath for whatever you say. There's some of my friends here. I've known we've known them for a bunch of years now. Obviously, since the team was founded, they've traveled with us as well.
Okay.
This is Copper Bore. This is our second show here. We'll be here for the next few years as well, which is awesome. But last year we were at Back Pocket, right near the rink for a little bit. And then before that, we were at a place that doesn't exist anymore, Brick and Iron. So the faces you're seeing here have been with us every step of the way, almost every show. Best fans in the league, the Heartlanders faithful. And a round of applause to you guys for coming here all throughout. But 6-game winning streak, things are clicking. You don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low, but how excited have you been seeing how quickly this has all turned around?
Yeah, I mean, there's ups and downs in the season. You just got to stay with it. Most teams will go through a rut, and you got to get out of it, and we did. So we just got to keep that going.
And with Worcester, there were runs either way, here or there.
Yeah, like last year we started 9-0, and then we didn't make playoffs. So,
so it can.
So it's ups and downs the whole year.
How do you? Because this is your 4th year now. So how do you manage that kind of thing where it's like, you don't want to get too high, too low either way?
I mean, I just move on to the next game. Whether I played well, played bad, you just got to move on to the next shift and help your team win, no matter what. Whether it's checking, hitting, fighting, scoring, making plays, whatever you have to do.
You're a guy that you affect kind of all areas. You've scored a few goals, some big goals this year. You had the game-winning goal, your first game-winning goal of the season. Back on Wednesday, the morning game. So
a little early.
little early. Got the game-winning goal done before noon, which is great.
Yeah.
But also defensively, face-offs, penalty killing, can play the bumper roll on the power play. Played on the power play all over the place.
Yep.
Being able to affect in all areas. What kind of confidence does that give you, knowing that you're trusted in all situations?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence. Dane tells me all the time he trusts me in every situation. So, and I love taking draws. I take pride in draws. So I do a lot of video with that, and just want to be able to be out there for the biggest moments of the game. And I love that Danes trust me there. So I got to keep doing my job there.
Have you always taken pride in the face-off since you started playing center?
Yeah, since my year in Indy, my coach Doug Christensen and I actually sat down, and that was one thing we studied a lot was face-offs, and he brought my game to another level.
With face-offs, so besides maybe getting your hand in there and one of those that they
that was a scary play. Yeah.
So well, I'm not going to ask you about that, but that was just in the Saturday game in the final face-off.
Yeah.
But so like face-offs, like take us. I know very little about it because I've talked to centers before, and it's like everyone kind of has a different explanation or rhyme or rhythm. So. What's your mentality when you go in for a face-off?
I mean, it depends who I'm going against. I study them, who I'm going against the night before, so it depends who it is, whether they're small, big, whatever their technique is. I just got to go to my notes and do the opposite, honestly.
When you say like their technique in studying, so how you're watching on Flow Hockey? How do you study?
Flow Hockey, Cheech will actually send us videos the night before, so get to watch the other guys take face-offs for. There's usually a couple minutes each guy, and get to study it a little bit.
What are you picking up on as you're doing this?
Just if they use their feet, if they just use quick hit, or just any little things that I just noticed, just to have it in the back of my mind.
And you mentioned like Doug Christensen, the Indy coach from back a few years ago, that you and him had that meeting. So when you had that meeting, like what kind of things did he tell you about about the face-off, or the important whatever he said to you?
He just thought it would help my game and help me get to Rockford again, and it actually did. So and we just sat down, watched a lot of video, critiqued a couple of guys, and then I just took it from there. I have a little notebook I write in, and just so I can remember some guys, and because I know I'll see him in the future. That's
did you steal that from like Ted Williams,
no.
the baseball player? Ted Williams had a notebook on every notebook where every pitcher he ever faced.
Wow.
He wrote down notes. So, and you being a Boston native and me being a kind of a former Yankees fan, barely, boos are more than welcome. Anyway, that's the story with that. But about the leadership, yourself, Kevin McKernan.
Yep.
Yuki, I could go on with 5-6 more guys, but what are some of the characteristics that you like about the culture, the leadership in the room?
Just everyone's a great guy. You get along with everyone. There's no like stigma in the room. Everyone, I feel like, loves each other, and it's kind of a brotherhood in there, and it's great to see. Kevin's doing a great job leading as the captain, and everyone's following him. So, and we're just trying to help build that too.
What about Kevin? Like what's he like in the room?
He's a great guy. He gets along with everyone. I mean, he's a nice guy. When he needs to be tough on us, he is, and you need that in a captain. He knows exactly what he needs to do.
The group this year, there are a lot of different personalities. Yeah. There's a lot of like funny guys. There's a lot of don't realize they're funny, unintentionally kind of funny guys.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good mix of vets and young guys. So how would you describe like the way the room is right now?
I mean, everyone's getting more comfortable as the time goes on, especially we had a nice Thanksgiving dinner last night, and it was a great time. The young guys chirping the old guys, and so it's getting good.
So I didn't know you guys had Thanksgiving dinner last night.
Yep.
Now it makes sense to me. Everyone today after practice was saying how great Ben Brinkman is in every way.
Yeah, he made the cranberry sauce last night.
Was it a hit?
Yeah, it was good.
So who did the turkey? What was the...
I think Wellesley did the turkey.
Good turkey?
Yeah, it was good. I don't eat turkey, but
that's right.
Everybody else said it was great.
And what else? There was cranberry sauce. Like, what else did you guys have there?
Everything. There was pies, maybe too much. I think Nauber had 6 pieces of pie, so...
We did, after practice today, you guys will see it on the Heartlanders social media. Which teammate are you most thankful for? I would say about 15 of the 20-something guys said Nauber.
I agree with that.
And Yuki said Mike Cano, Nauber, as everyone calls him. Yuki, I was waiting. Yuki was one of the last ones off the ice, as he always is.
Yeah.
And he said Michael was. So he's such a great guy. His attitude every day.
Always has a smile on his face.
Always.
Always.
And even obviously he was suspended for a few games.
Yep.
And you don't know how that's going to affect a guy, but it seemed like he was just the same guy every...
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's always smiling. He always wants to be around the boys. Just always positive.
and coming from Germany where he played the last few years. And another guy coming from Germany, Davis Koch, has been magnificent.
Yeah. Player of the week.
Player of the week this week. The first time since the inaugural season for us. So about 2 years that a player won Player of the Week. Just the third player in Heartlanders history to win Player of the Week. The other two are Jake Smith and Chris Bennett from the inaugural season. They did it in a 3-week span.
Oh, wow.
So it's basically every other week had not had a Player of the Week winner. So, but Davis, I know obviously in the power play with him a little bit and seeing how he played. The way he thinks the game is just incredible.
It's
so
incredible.
What do you like about playing with him and the way he plays?
He's just so skilled. He sees the game well. He knows the game well. He makes plays that I don't even see, and it's great. It's great to have him on the team. And he's such a great kid off the ice, too. He's my stallmate, so we have a lot of great conversations.
And with him, took a few games to kind of figure it out, as it does. He'd played in Europe the last few years. As a stallmate, like what are you guys chatting about on a day? Is there anything you guys have gotten talking about in general, or not really?
Not really. I mean, he's a little wild one. We always talk about, I don't even know, just little things, but not too much about hockey. Try to keep it easy.
Who are you rooming with this year?
My wife.
Oh, you got your own place.
Yeah.
I forgot. You just got married this summer too,
I did,
right?
Yeah, and my dog. Yep.
Yeah, I was told I have to ask you about the dog.
Yep.
But you did get married this summer, so that seems more.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit more important, maybe.
Yeah.
So how's it been? I don't know if your wife's listening.
She's in Utah skiing, so.
Hopefully not. Listen to enjoy.
I hope not. Yeah.
Moving with her here, is this the first time you moved with her to a city, or?
She's always been with me. She always travels with me. We've dated since we were sophomore years in high school. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So like 10, almost 10.
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Because you're 29. So wow, yeah, that would be 13 years. Yeah. So, well, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Let us be the first at Hockey Hour to congratulate you. The dog, though.
Yeah.
I have to ask you about the dog because I heard from Jason Geisler, Goose, our athletic trainer. He said he will talk about his dog and everything about his dog. He loves his dog. So give us the rundown on the pup.
He's the best dog. He's 7 pounds, little Morky. He has a big attitude. Yeah.
The little ones have the big attitude.
He thinks he's 100 pounds, but he's only 7 pounds.
So he's walking around Coralville by the apartments barking at everyone.
Yeah, he loves Kevin's dog, Noodles.
Noodles, the French bulldog.
Yeah, he has a crush on her, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old's the dog?
My dog's 6 years old.
6 years old, so a little bit older. So you've had the dog for a couple of years? 6 years?
Since he was 4 months old, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He was like a half a pound in my hand when I got him.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
That's adorable. So you've been here in Coralville for 2.5 months since you moved here. What do you think about the city, the town? What do you like about it?
I actually love it. I was kind of skeptical at first, coming from Boston, a big city, and I love it. My wife loves it, so we're very happy here.
What do you like about living here?
I don't know. It's kind of relaxed. I like the walking trail behind the apartments for my dog, obviously, and just love how it's a little more laid back.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I moved here from Pennsylvania back 3 years ago. I love living here.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit too of like almost kind of like a New England suburb of Boston in a way.
Agree. Yeah, I agree.
The way it is, a lot of like mom and pop restaurants kind of like this. And so you coming here now, you lived here for 2.5 months. You said you like it. So like, you get out of the rink. What's kind of like, what are you guys up to after practice? You, your wife, the dog. Like, what's an average afternoon, evening like when there's not a game or a road trip?
We just walk my dog. That's pretty much it. That's about it.
Nothing too crazy?
Nothing too crazy, no.
Again, here with Liam.
Get as much as rest as possible, you know.
Well, you being a veteran in this league now, that's something that you probably learned a little bit about. You played college hockey where you're only playing 30, 40 games a year.
Yep.
And now you're playing 72. So when you say approaching the recovery seriously, like how do you approach it?
You have to. You need to take that seriously. It's a long season. We got 4 and 5 coming up. It takes a lot on your body. So as much as you can rest, you have to take advantage of it.
So like when you say resting, like people think just laying in bed.
No, laying in bed, stretching.
Yeah.
Whatever else. I do a lot of stimulation and dare a gun just to keep my legs loose.
Because, again, when people hear, like, oh, you got to rest the body, like, the first thought for someone who's not
lazy.
Just sitting around and eating chips and buffalo chicken dip and all that other good stuff.
No.
Yeah. Again, here with Liam Coughlin. We appreciate everyone listening as well on Mixlr. Can't make a show. Of course, we want you to be here. And one of the great things is obviously after the show, come up, chat it up. Happy to have any questions or something Liam's way. And if you guys have anything for him to sign, of course, definitely as well. But always available to listen as well on mixler.com/Go Heartlanders. But got about 20 minutes left here, so next 10 or 15 minutes, I like to ask a little bit about like where you're from, growing up. So take us from the start. Born in Boston or
born in Boston, yeah.
South Boston?
South Boston.
Southie,
yeah.
Is that like what's the give me the characteristics, the rundown of someone from South Boston? Like, what's the stereotype?
I don't know.
Not the Good Will Hunting stereotype.
No. My friends are like that.
The bar fights with Harvard student kind of thing.
I have a twin brother. He's actually like that. He does all that, so I can play hockey.
I gotcha. But but growing up in Boston, what's it like for someone that's never been there, never been to Boston before?
It's a little crazy. It's loud. It's busy. Played hockey growing up, baseball, football. I was better at baseball. My dad wished I played baseball, but I fell in love with hockey in Boston and just kept going. My older brother played hockey, so I just followed his footsteps. And
so you said your dad wanted you to play baseball?
Yeah.
So how did that work out? How'd you get into hockey?
He played hockey. He actually played hockey at Michigan State, my dad, and then my brother played in the Q. But I just loved hockey too much to let it go, and I had to let baseball go.
What's the scene around Boston with like hockey growing up? Like the youth range, like what's the scene there? Like the youth scene, and like where do people play? Like what are the best programs? Where that kind of stuff.
I mean, when I was growing up, I played for Southie a little bit, but I always played for the Junior Bruins.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you get into it? Like obviously your dad.
My dad knew a guy and just got me on the team.
I gotcha. Playing for the Boston Junior Bruins and some of the other programs that you did. When did you kind of realize like I might be able to do this for a little bit longer than like just playing youth hockey kind of stuff?
I think sophomore year of high school kind of turned my eye because I think I had a pretty good year. I don't know if it's on there, but I don't know.
48 points in probably like 5 games?
Yeah, something like that. So my dad told me to start taking it seriously, and we did.
Catholic Memorial School, where is that?
That's in West Roxbury. Westy.
West of the city?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you had a good season.
Yep.
How did that what did that do for you? How did that propel you?
Yeah, just build confidence in my coach, Coach Hansen. Just told me to keep it going, and had a great rest of the couple of years. And he had a couple guys come see me play for the Vernon Vipers, and then I ended up in the British Columbia Hockey League.
So you moved all the way from Massachusetts to British Columbia for junior?
A shock for sure.
It's different. Vernon, where's Vernon again? Is it near
British Columbia?
Is it near Vancouver?
Like 5 hours, I think.
A few hours from Vancouver.
Yeah, 5.
How did you make that decision to go out there? Because it had to be a pretty big one.
There's a couple guys at Catholic Memorial that actually did the same thing as me. Went from Catholic Memorial to Vernon, and they had called me and said it's a great time. The coach actually came to Southie to meet me, and he just got me to come out there and never hesitated. And
once you got out there, so you had a few really good seasons there.
Yep.
When did the University of Vermont, where you went to college, when did that kind of start coming in the picture?
So I was actually committed to UMass Amherst first, and then decommitted because I wanted to go back to Vernon for one more year. And then I committed to BU, and then decommitted from there, and then went to Vermont.
So when did Vermont?
It was a crazy ride, yeah.
Well, how did Vermont stay? Were they in your ear the entire time? Like what?
Yeah, they were always there, and they never left, and I like that.
So you get to Vermont in 2015-16.
Yep.
Had a few solid seasons there. It's in Burlington, right?
Yeah, Burlington, Vermont. Lake Champlain.
I've heard it's beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah. I miss it.
So it's like a couple hours from Lake George, and like 2-3 hours from Boston, from your hometown, or how far is it from where you grew up?
It was like 3.5. I did the ride a lot.
So you get in the car, drive from Burlington to see your family when you could.
Yeah.
And you're playing in Hockey East.
Yep.
I've heard the Hockey East guys.
I love Hockey East, yeah.
Exactly. There's the Hockey East bias, which there's Big Ten bias, Hockey East bias, NCHC bias, WCHA bias, all the conferences. So what makes Hockey East with all those historic programs just the best in your mind to play in?
I think it's great. I mean, the one reason I wanted to play in Hockey East was for the bean pot, and that's why I committed to BU, and then it just didn't work out, so I was kind of upset about that. But I think Hockey East is great. It's physical, it's fast, it's everything you can get.
Play against a lot of draft picks, and you were a draft pick yourself of the Edmonton Oilers.
Yep.
When did that become on the radar? You were in the BCHL at the time.
Yep.
And you were drafted by the Edmonton Oilers. So take us through your story, your process, how it all happened.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I had a great year, and I had a few teams reach out, and Edmonton was a team that reached out a lot. And I thought I was going to get taken by Chicago, but I didn't, and then they took me, and it was great. But I ended up getting traded to Chicago, which was crazy too. And
which I wanted to ask you about as well. But everybody always talks about like when they're picked and they can remember exactly where they were and how it went down. So what was your story with that?
Yeah, I was actually in Southie playing in a street hockey tournament, and I was actually playing, and then all you can hear around the court, there's probably 300 people there and saying I got drafted. So it was a pretty cool experience.
So you weren't like watching on TV at the time?
No, I was playing hockey.
That's most guys are normally like watching or at the draft. Did you have the opportunity to do that and decided not to, or what?
My agent told me that I was most likely going to be taken, but I just want to be around family and friends and just see it happen. Yeah.
And so you were all of a sudden people start coming up to you and telling you?
Yeah. They went over the microphone and said I got drafted. It was pretty cool. And
in the middle of a hockey tournament.
Yeah, one of my other friends got drafted too.
Who was that?
Brendan Collier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
I think he went to Carolina. I'm not sure. He doesn't play anymore.
Okay, so you're still going.
I'm
one of your buddies, yeah. Age 29 now, still going for the Iowa Heartlanders. 4 years at Vermont. You mentioned you got traded to Chicago. So you thought Chicago was going to take you, and then
Edmonton swooped in. I think I don't really know what the story is, but then they traded. It was me for Anders Nielsen, the goalie.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because I'm sure it was probably a little bit of a shock.
Yeah, it was a little shock. I was in the gym and just got a phone call saying I got traded. I was like, okay. Thanks.
What did you do? Who did you tell?
I told everyone.
Start your career with the Rockford Ice Hogs and the Indy Fuel. So we talked a little bit about it earlier. Doug Christensen, who used to be the head coach of Manchester, USHL development guy. Then he went to Indy. He's had a number of stops as well. Very good developmental coach, which is one of the things I guess you touched on. But you're sent down to the ECHL. It's your rookie year, and you're a former draft pick. So guys talk about that it could be a little bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
How did you approach the situation?
I mean, I didn't take it that way. I mean, I'm still playing hockey, and I know like probably I'm down there for a reason. I just gotta pick up on little things like my face-offs and stuff like that to get called back up, and just keep working hard. And you can't take it the wrong way. You can't, because then they'll eat you up, and you might stay there for the rest of your life.
It was your first time playing pro hockey. You're in the Central Division. There's some great cities in the Central Division, which you probably had a chance to experience all of them, I'm assuming, or maybe one.
A little bit, yeah.
So you're in the Central Division, though, and you're going and playing in Toledo, where the fans are nuts.
Yeah, that ring's crazy. That was a fun experience.
And in Fort
Wayne,
Wayne,
going there soon, right?
He'll be there in a week and a half, so he'll be back. Fort Wayne, same way.
Yeah.
Kalamazoo, good old rink. This is a brand new rink, and obviously still growing it out from the ground up here.
Yep.
So when you think about like playing hockey in this division, like what's the characteristics? What's the style? Like what do you think about the style, how it is in the Central Division?
Yeah, I think it's definitely different than playing in Worcester. I mean, I think it's a little more physical for sure, and I think it's a little faster. I feel like Worcester's a little like I don't even know how to say it. More like laid back, honestly. Like. This division's a little physical. Yeah.
What do you think about the fan bases here and how they are?
Fan base?
But like every fan base, you played in the Central Division. Like even Indy's got a.
Indy had a great fan base. Toledo's great. Cincy, Iowa's great. It's fun playing these buildings.
For sure, and the Heartlanders will have plenty of that over the next few days. Getting on the bus tomorrow and 12 hours, the bus will be loaded.
Yeah, Kalamazoo.
headed to Kalamazoo, Fort Wayne Thursday for the Thanksgiving Day game there that they do every year. Then on Friday's an off day for the team, rare Friday off, but in the middle of a 4 and 5. Saturday, the Heartlanders will take on the Wheeling Nailers, and then Sunday in Wheeling as well. Our first trip to Wheeling since all the craziness of last year, so that'll...
I've never played there.
Never?
No.
That's it's a fun place to play. Everything's quick there. The neutral zones are small.
That's what I hear.
The boards are crazy. They call them, because it's West Banco, the Banco bounces.
Really?
So once a year, this is the only time I ever contribute to the coaching staff. I'll go up to Derek and Joe before the game, and Joe knows now because he played there.
Yeah.
And I'll say, just a reminder, the boards here are nuts. The Banco bounces, and they know. They always say, so this will be the third year that I go up to them and say, reminder, the boards are crazy, and it does a lot of weird stuff. But it's an old historic city of 30,000 that they draw 2,000 people a game, so they get a tenth of the town out to tenth of the city out to the game. But you didn't play during the COVID year.
I did not.
What happened? What was your decision process there in 2020, 21?
I just didn't want to play. Me and my wife actually just stayed in Indy and stayed in the apartments and lived there for a year, and actually got to train and skate by myself for a few months. I actually had the rink during COVID, so I think that was a plus.
And did Indy have your rights at that point, or how were you on an? How did it work out?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just there.
But you were still training to play. Were there ever any thoughts during that time maybe, or?
I mean, it's always on my mind. I've always want to play hockey, so I just thought it was a right time to take a year off.
Going to Worcester after. So how did that all happen? Going from Indy, then you had the year off.
Yep.
You signed with Worcester at that point, or?
Yeah, David Cunniff was a coach at the time, and he's from Southie as well. And he gave me a call, and I couldn't turn it down.
And so you're basically playing 50 minutes, an hour 20, 30 with traffic outside of your hometown. So how often did family come out and all that?
Yeah, they were there pretty much every game. I mean, my wife's family was there every game. My family was there. My brothers were there. My sister was always there. So it was a great time.
It's a fun building there. It's 13,000 seats, called the DCU Center.
Yeah.
Worcester, I don't know if
big.
Too big. Yeah. Worcester's the second largest city in New England, too, which everyone from New England, from Worcester, reminds you that Worcester, it's a big city.
It is big.
Only city bigger in all of New England's Boston. So the rink's right downtown. There's a lot to do around the rink, too, and a lot of restaurants, a lot of stuff. So you played there for 2 years. What did you like about playing there?
The fans are great. The city is great. I mean, I like the city vibe. And just having my friends and family there, a lot of it was great. And the Woo Sox, I always went to the Woo Sox games, which was fun.
AAA of the Boston Red Sox as well. So I'm assuming you grew up a huge Red Sox fan.
Yep.
Who favorite players growing up?
David Ortiz.
Yeah. So you were 10 years old when they won the World Series in 2004.
Yep.
And you were in the city.
Yeah.
So what do you remember about the Red Sox winning the World Series? Give us the rundown.
When I was 10, I have no idea.
You don't remember anything?
No,
what were you doing? You're 10 years old. You don't remember them winning?
I can barely remember last year.
Patriots fan?
Yeah.
I know you are.
I'm struggling a little bit.
Well, I've teased you and Kevin McKernan a few times because this is the only time since you can remember being alive that the Patriots have legitimately not been good. So
we had our time.
Well, yeah, but maybe there's still more times. I mean, Bill Belichick's getting paid $20 million a year. That's true, $20 million a year to figure it out. Is Tom Brady the greatest person to ever walk the United States of America, or is there someone else?
I could agree with that.
Yeah, so I figured.
Besides my mom, yeah.
Great answer, besides your mom. This summer, so let's flip back to hockey just a few minutes, then we'll do our fun stuff, the Finers 5 at the end here. So you had a decision this summer. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone back to Worcester. You could have stayed in the North Division. So what was your process like this summer deciding to come here? Yeah,
I just thought I needed a different place to play, and James reached out, and actually it was either here or Fort Wayne, and I just wanted to come here.
You made a good decision if it was between here or Fort Wayne.
Yeah, very happy.
Best decision you made in your life.
I actually made a decision on my honeymoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're talking to your agent when you're supposed to be spending time with your wife? You couldn't just wait a couple days?
I was talking to Dames, too, the whole time.
What does your wife think as you're talking to?
She didn't mind.
She didn't mind?
No.
Where'd you guys go? Anywhere good on your house?
St. Lucia, Sugar Beach. Yeah, it was very nice.
In the Caribbean?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So you made the decision to come here.
Yep.
And you mentioned how much you enjoy living here.
Yep.
So there's big goals for this team now all of a sudden. The season and there has always been big goals, but season started a little bit slow. What do you see as, so there's this, Heartlanders have taken a few big steps, but what do you see as the sort of the biggest steps the team has taken these last few weeks?
Just playing as a team and not an individual, and it's showing. We're just going to keep that up. And I've missed playoffs the last 2 years by maybe a game, 2 points, and I know this team can get to the playoffs and do a lot of damage, and we just got to get there.
And that's been the goal from day one here, is get in the dance, see what can happen. It would be the first time in team history. There's a lot of excitement. We have one show a few days before the final week of the season here, which let's just hope in April maybe there's already an X next to the Heartlanders name in the standings. But
that'd be great.
Teams tied for second in the division, or in second, I should say, in the division with 14 points. There's teams around the Heartlanders that have played varying numbers of games, fourth in the conference as well. But we have 5 minutes left here at the Heartlanders Hockey Hour, which means 5 minutes to go. I'm not showing you. Got the Finers 5 for you. 5 questions that I thought of just, sitting in the office.
Top of your head?
Yeah, just, off the top of the head kind of thing. But I like to write them down. So I was talking about the soup earlier. I had the French onion soup here, and it was awesome. Great soup here at Copperbore. I also love New England clam chowder.
It's very good.
And in Boston, I assume there's some good places to get it.
There is.
So what's your favorite place to get New England clam chowder?
I haven't had chowder in so long, so I have no idea.
You don't know?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Aren't you? Now that I heard this right before I got it, I think you're like cheese, milk, you don't do dairy, you don't do as well with?
Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant.
So that's why, okay, so that's a stupid question.
Yeah.
I owe you another one. Let's cross it out. This one's not a stupid question. You drink coffee, right?
I love coffee.
Exactly. So the stereotype, you saw Joe, who's from Rhode Island, came in here with his Dunkin' Donuts at 6 p.m.
I love that.
That's great energy. Afternoon. And so they say that, like, everybody has their Dunkin' Donuts and, like, the Boston. Anyway, there's a Dunkin' Donuts that they're better. There's ones that are better than others.
Faster.
Yeah. They get to know your order.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have this kind of relationship at any Dunkin' Donuts in your life that Joe has?
I have there's a local coffee shop I have that I just walk in, the coffee's ready to go.
They start making it as soon as what's the name of this place?
Olga's.
What do you get?
I just get a snickerdoodle with a little almond milk.
And then,
iced coffee.
You walk in.
Yeah.
And it's like they see you, and do they know you by name? That's important.
Oh yeah.
Liam. Mm-hmm. They start getting it ready for you.
Yeah, she's the best.
And how far? A couple blocks from your house, kind of thing, or?
Yeah, it'd be like a 5-minute ride. I could walk there. It'd take like 20 minutes.
So you ride over there.
Yeah, it's on the other side of town.
You could walk
everywhere in Selby.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, do you have to wait to get to the front of the line, or they see you and they start making it like?
No, I wait in line.
You wait. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not like
no.
Will Ferrell and kicking and screaming trying to get in front of the line. Okay. Been to a lot of cities playing in the ECHL, AHL. What's your favorite city that you've ever, not like whether as a player or like a teammate or being in that city, or a road city? Like, what's the best city you've been in the ECHL?
So far, I had a great time in Idaho.
You went there last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, last year.
Idaho came here last year.
Yeah.
We like to forget about that.
Well,
they were really good.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were the best team in ECHL regular season history last year.
Very good.
Very good. So Boise, like, what'd you like about it?
It was fun. We actually got to go out to a bar there. I forget the name. Humping Hannah's or something. And it was a great time.
So I've heard a lot of people have said Boise's awesome. Heartlanders still have to get out there. You played in Hockey East. What was your favorite Hockey East city to visit?
I loved playing against BU just because all my friends and family would be there, and I scored a goal there. Maybe my first collegiate goal, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll have to go double check and look back.
Yeah.
We didn't ask you today. What teammate are you most grateful for?
I told you earlier, all of them.
Well, but I need one. If you were on camera, because we didn't put you on the spot on camera,
I probably would have said Nauber.
Yeah, okay.
I love it. I love his energy.
He's got great. You'll be the 16th of the previous 15 answered it.
Yeah.
I know Thanksgiving we're going to be on the road.
Yeah.
If we weren't, and let's say you were at home with family, what would be the best thing on the table at your family's house for Thanksgiving?
The stuffing.
You like the stuffing? Big stuffing guy?
Yeah, big stuffing guy.
Do you put like gravy, pepper, like what do you?
Yeah,
anything?
gravy.
Put
Cranberry sauce.
Sear all over it.
Yeah, love it.
Liam, it's a big week ahead. I know when this is a spoiler alert. Little bit banged up.
Yeah.
Just found out today, not going to be making this trip.
Yeah, not making this trip.
But that means you'll get to spend some time Thanksgiving at home and relaxing. So we're wishing you the best this week, and we really appreciate you. Again, I know you're not under the weather, but just feeling just a little bit banged up as hockey players are. So we're looking forward to a few weeks getting you back healthy on the ice.
Thank you.
And you like typical hockey player mentality. He toughed it out to come on the radio show, which is awesome. So, Liam, thanks again for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you. Anytime.